With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
The hills, the valleys of Napa Valley. It's wine country at Sonoma Raceway, and that's where we are starting this season of Precision Racing League NASCAR Cup Series action. I'm Dylan Coyle, joined alongside Terry Radford for a fantastic event tonight. It's going to be 60 laps through the winding of the 1.99 mile racetrack. We're using the chute configuration. You can see us on screen. Terry, you're looking beautiful as always, my friend.
Not as good looking as you are. I figured since I was stepping out of the car this year and transition more to the broadcast side of things, I couldn't necessarily put myself in the realm of practice with the baby stuff on the way, taking over a new shop. This is a whole lot easier for me to come over here, but I'm still supporting my What Up Bag people. Miracle Flow is always doing great things, and I moved my broadcast set. There's a closet behind me because there's a whole bed sitting right over here next to me. I had to flip-flop. I just have the nursery getting set up. Literally in the room behind me, there's a nursery now for a baby, but I cannot wait, Dylan. This is going to be one of the coolest seasons that we have here in the PRL Cup Series. Can Trent Dinkle go back-to-back? Can he win a championship before we get to the season finale this year? Or is there another key player that's going to come in here? Rachel Hunt's back for the first time in a long time. We have some new faces that are coming in here. Wayne Grassie's new. Just looking up down the board, Landon Mills, welcome to the PRL. He's coming back into this series. There's a ton of new people that's going to come make their claim, and I'm going to say it. I'd watch out for that 25. He's real good in RSR competition as well.
Now that you mention it, there are 11 newcomers to this series that weren't a part of the Cup Series last year. So we have a really healthy grid. I think right now we're looking at 36 cars that are currently registered for this race. So what a way to open up the season schedule as qualifying is underway, but we're going to go into the season schedule. Sonoma, it says historic, but it's now what the Cup Series has gone back to using the chute. They used the carousel configuration for a few years. Next week, we go to Nashville Super Speedway.
Yeah, we do.
Then, that's going to be fun. It pretty much mimics the Cup Series schedule. I don't think there's anything that's off canter from the Cup Series schedule. We got Nashville next week, Chicago. That'll be fun to see everyone rip it on the streets of Chicago before we go to Atlanta for some mini super speedway racing. New Hampshire, Pocono, Richmond, Michigan, the Indy Road Course, and Watkins Glen. That is 4 road courses in 10 races. Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm a little bit skeptical there. because there's 4 road courses in the Xfinity series as well. I believe they kicked one off the trucks. I believe there's only going to be 2 or 3 on that schedule. So a very healthy dose of learning how to do left and right turns, but a very healthy dose. I mean, Atlanta Motor Speedway coming up there, that mini super speedway. That's it, super speedway wise. I mean, that's the only true quote unquote pack racing that we are going to see. And then obviously Michigan, you can technically consider Pocono a road course by how they race it, right? They'll short pit, you'll have a lot of shifting going in there. So however you race tonight, it's going to determine what the future is going to be, because it's Nashville and then another road course. So, kind of get wrecked if you don't like left and rights.
Get wrecked if you don't get left or right, or wreck yourself. You can learn not to wreck yourself by looking at advanced sim racing. Owned and operated by passionate sim racers, Advanced Sim Racing designs and builds the sturdiest and most durable aluminum profile racing simulation cockpits available in the market today. All PRL members get a 5% discount on ASR products using the Precision 5 coupon code. Racebox Sim Racing. Racebox offers mid and high-end button boxes for most, and all I should say, sim racing enthusiasts, from the casual gamer up to the most meticulous sim racing driver. Competitively priced and carefully handcrafted, our button boxes are an enjoyable addition to any sim racing setup. Visit raceboxsimracing.com and get a 5% discount code using the Precision 5 coupon code. Can't forget about the Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker products add incredible immersion and realism to every game. Feel every nuance and truly put yourself in the driver's seat. Mechasim Hardware is a small company from the Czech Republic, and their goal is to produce high-quality sim racing hardware. If you're looking for high-end pedal sets, handbrake, or sequential shifter, visit Mechasim Hardware's eShop right now to get you up to speed. And let's continue on with qualifying here, which only has around a couple minutes. Well, actually, this is a uniquely long. Is it really that unique, Terry, by the way? 4 of these races are going to have a 10-minute qualifying session where you can get 4 laps. I mean, this is not really that unique for this season schedule. The kings of the road courses this year, they might really shine.
Yeah, and the awesome part about this is 10-minute qualifying. We'll see that for the remainder of our road course season. So obviously Indy, Watkins Glen, and obviously the Chicago Street Course, we will see 10-minute qualifying. Due to the length of the road courses that we have, you want to make sure every driver gets 2 consistent laps in, along with their warm-up lap coming to the green, with the fact that you're not passing the start-finish line to actually put yourself up there in the front. But just take a look right here at Robert Besaw Jr. Doesn't look too bad here on this opening lap in the SGE Sports number 3. But I want to go off script for a second, because that's one of my favorite things.
That is what you do.
Race Spot. Terry loves it. Look at your top 5 right now, and I'll throw top 6 because Jose Acosta is coming into this season off of a win in the season finale at Charlotte. Awesome to see him come along with what he's learned in the sim racing world and what he's learned in PRL. Very good on the road courses. So here he sits in the top 6 early on, or very late into qualifying here, coming into the season number 3. Trent Dinkle backing up his championship season already, looking to take the pole by 0.3 of a second over a driver in Abner Acosta. That 100% of the time at a road course, you're like, that's the guy. That's who we're taking. But look all the way down in 12th. That's Richard Regan Jr., one of the fastest drivers, your Xfinity Series champion from last year over here in the Cup. Once again, not looking too well this early. So take a look at Callahan right here. He's not having that great of a qualifying run.
You know, I do want to point out, though, the Xfinity cars and the Cup cars handle so differently, though. And I think we all know that, right? Cup cars are, I don't like calling them, like, similar to GT cars, modern GT cars, modern supercars, but they really have so much in common with them. So There is definitely a different art to driving a Cup car, and then you put them on a road course, and then all bets are off. So the Xfinity Series cars are, I think some people say they're almost like truer race cars, which, you know, I don't necessarily buy into that. I think that's just something that people like to say. They don't love the direction the Cup Series is going, but I think on road courses, it's where it really should shine. I know the modern day Cup car could use a few differences to help with horsepower and getting the wheels to spin, but it really is a car that's made for road courses. And seeing that 4 of our 10 races this season are road courses, it's really going to lead to some fun.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna, right? I'm a little bit biased, and I guess my biasness sits with the fact that when I raced the Xfinity Series last season, I attempted to run a little Sonoma this week, and I'll tell you what, I had a hard time. I couldn't get the brake, the shifting, all of that down to understand where I was going from one point to the next. And I don't know, these drivers are a lot faster than I was. I would think I was down there. I probably would have been last on this grid.
All right, and we cannot forget about Muradness, by the way. Murad is a performance lifestyle brand motivated by motorsport and founded by professional race car driver Daniel Morad. For more information, visit muradness.com. It is time for the grid here in the first race of this PRL Cup Series season. 36 drivers have come into this race. Not all of them have qualified. 26 did decide to take to this twisty racetrack to get everything set, get everything tuned, get everything ready to go here at Sonoma. It really is in the middle of a bustling Bay Area. I should say more the top of the Bay Area, and leads to a lot of fun. So just waiting a few minutes as Charles Sumner, Race Control, provides all the information necessary to these drivers before they complete one full pace lap. There will be no cautions in this race. Usually, Terry, we talk about the time limit being a factor because of cautions. We're not going to see that this time, are we?
Nah, we're going to race all 60 laps here tonight. I don't expect the time limit to come into account. We'll go around here. I mean, unless, you know, all heck breaks loose and the pace slows down quite a bit. You know, if the leaders take themselves out and somebody's about 2 seconds off the pace at the old time.
Every single lap.
Yeah, we're going to need time. Time will not be a factor here this afternoon. But no surprise who your top two is with the past season champion Trent Dinkle and Abner Acosta.
Yeah, top two is Dinkle and Acosta, and they get going here around this tricky, sometimes one-lane road course. I mean, this is such a high elevation change right here, but it's not even the highest point of elevation that these drivers will be competing with. It's up here. This is the highest point of elevation. The sight lines from here, Terry, are just wonderful. We see in-car with Dinkle. Is there any question over whether or not Dinkle, if he gets the lead and keeps the lead, I should say, off this start, he will just continue going with the lead to the end of the race?
Yeah, I'd easily question that. I mean, you look at Acosta. I think this is your top two. I don't, unless a mistake or somebody gets driven through, I think it's going to be the 9 and the 5. Whichever way that goes, you know, that's obviously going to play a big factor in this, but I don't know. I think somebody's going to have to get driven through here to uproot those two, or the pit strategy, because they're going to pit one time. You just take a look at the starting grid. Trent Dinkle, Abner Acosta, Joshua Daniels, Landon Mills, Pat Harvey, Matthew Long round out your top 6, with Jose Acosta, John T. Jones, Maverick Davis, James O'Brien, Lou Christian, Richard Regan Jr. top 12. 13th is Tristan Callahan, Chris Hudson, Bradley Moore, Robert Beasaw Jr., Waldo Walden, and Chris Kibbe.
And we got pretty much 18 more drivers to go as these drivers on track. Can't read all of them. Go around turn 12. Go around 11, I should say. The hairpin, one of the best passing opportunities, and will make this left-hander around turn 12. green flag is in the air. PRL Racing in the Cup Series is back. Oh, and already card to the wall.
Yeah, we had a lot of issues there on that start. There was a lot of jumbled up and confusion here. You see the middle of the pack, the back of the pack spread out. They're 2-3 wide for the run in the mid-pack, but no issues for your top 6. They go single file instantaneously, but here we go, one off track already. Starting to fall back through this field. That could happen here going up the top. Yeah, that's going to happen here. That's going to happen quite a ton.
Yeah, that was John T. Jones, who had a lot of calamity already in the first half of the lap. Can't even speak, of the lap. And as we go into the second part of the lap, these drivers go around the end of the drag strip at Sonoma Raceway and start to handle the S's, the curves, one of the faster sections, the fastest sections of this racetrack. You can lose so much time here. You can gain so much time here. It's all about maximizing how wide the track is, putting the car all the way to the left, all the way to the right, as far as the limits let it go.
We take a look right there at turn 13, a couple passing opportunities already getting set up. I mean, you think about turn 13 when you get down into the corner. If you can outbrake somebody without, we used to say wheel hopping, you're not necessarily doing that as much here in this next gen car. It's more of a slide of the tires or a lock up of the brakes. But you see right here, the battle for the lead is gone. It has subsided. It's now a battle for second between Landon Mills and Abner Acosta. They sit almost right on top of each other. Any bobble, you're going to have an issue there for the 5. But there's Joshua Daniels, Matthew Long's not too far behind. A pretty healthy mix of your top 5 as Mills went to take a look there on the inside of Abner.
Yeah, he took a look. He's right there as we go through the S's as they fly all 5. Remember the gopher cam from years ago?
The digger cam?
Digger cam. That's what I meant. Love that. Love that. That was a good thing. I think McDonald is also off track as well. We'll need to get a good look at that, but this battle heading into turn 11, the hairpin, well, it's not a battle for first right now. Somebody looks like Max Verstappen at Montreal today.
I don't watch F1.
I know you don't.
He's going to win regardless. Hey, it's not very often somebody says, oh, who won the F1 race? Oh, it's probably Verstappen. I don't know why I just call that turn 13. I think I still have RSR on my mind. It is turn 11. we had a whole argument between me, Evan, and Nolan. That was turn 13 because they should have added 2 more turns into it. I apologize. It is turn 11.
It's relatively weird if you look at any of the track maps when they go to the chute. They bypass turns 5 and 6.
Yeah, it's 4, 4A, blah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, well, realistically, this is not an 11-turn track, but what is usually said on the map is that the right-hander going to the chute is usually 4 or 4A, and then as they go into the right-hander...
Landon!
He almost lost it, but he saved it. He lost a few positions, though. Looks like at least one, and obviously had the chance to get by Acosta. Could not do it. What a save, though. Terry, you caught that.
Yeah, he lit them bad boys up coming off the corner. We'll take a look right here at the 35 of Jay McDonald. He slides off at the top of the hill.
Oh, boy.
And
Everyone's
there's 4 off, and that's the fast part of the track. You actually talked about that. It was a very big point that you touched on. You go up into that corner. You're carrying a ton of speed. You have to be able to jerk the wheel just a little bit harder while you're carrying the speed to get on the throttle to rip it off the exit of the corner. And you can easily slide off there. That was just a synchronized spin slash save slash dirt
right there.
They were just having a good old time out there in the field. As you look right here. Does somebody have an I Love Race Spot sticker on the back of their car? Is that Joshua Daniels? We love you too.
I love that. That's awesome. The corner that they were coming to was 4. We're going to get the replay here from Landon Mills from his almost losing it. Now, I'll tell you what. Isn't it called outlaw drifting?
Yeah. Yeah, he had a little fun there.
That's a good resume builder right there.
I mean, they just came out with Fast X. I mean, I'm sure that would that could qualify for some Fast and the Furious type style drifts. Even though we have to go all the way back to Tokyo Drift to get into the drifting part of it, but all of our Fast and the Furious people who watch, they would they definitely understand where I was going with that.
McDonald has retired, by the way. That's Jay McDonald in the 35. Started in 26. He was the last one to qualify. As your note for the race, current running order, you see it. As we see Eric Haag, of course, the Pennsylvania native. Oh, I love that. He's from Pennsylvania. But we've got Dinkle, Acosta, Daniels, Mills, Long, your top 5. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of close battling here, pretty much between all of the top 13, even, let's say, even closer, the top 10 are all battling, except for one driver, and that's Trent Dinkle.
Yeah, no surprise that our defending champion is doing defending champion things. He's out there stretching the lead. He's over 3 seconds above. But I think the question would be, his road course skill is very, very good. It's super good, but you take a look at him right here. Just calm, cool, and collective. I hope he's a Denver Nuggets fan. They won their NBA championship for the first time in 42 years, so pretty awesome. I see he's got the Colorado Rockies stuff behind him. It's still daylight there, so I'm not sure if he lives in Colorado, but he's somewhere where it's still daytime. On the East Coast, it is a nice 8:46 p.m., but he's kind of taken after Chase Elliott, other than getting suspended for a week. He's kind of like exactly the same.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure if he was hurt or anything either, but that's besides the point. Be right on board with...
He turned somebody at one point, John.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, almost. Well, really, Papinel kind of cut across John Jones. Right in front of Haag right here is John T. Jones. And another car that was just off track to the left, just casually. John T. Jones tries to go down the inside of Papineau, who is sporting a Race Spot logo on his rear bumper as well. We love the love. And some good racing action. Jones fell all the way to the back of the pack. He's now in 18th. He started the race in 8th. He has had a rough go of it, at least in the first half of the first lap, trying to get it all situated back out on lap 7 of 60. As we head into this fast turn 10 section. Very easy to overdrive the car heading down into the hairpin. You want to try and get the most speed possible. You just can't let the left...
Papinel.
Papinel. Oh, man. He almost lost it. He almost got pulled in Austin Dillon right there.
Oof. Look at some of these new names that are up here, though. You got Maverick Davis up here in the 8th place position. That's a new face. Mills, obviously a new face up here in 4th. Hoping they race it. Bradley Moore down there in 15th. That's a new face I haven't seen here. You talk about 11 new drivers across this platform. A lot of them, just like me, we started at COTA last year for the Xfinity Series. Not much of a left and right kind of guy. I like things to be.
You're not much of a left kind of guy either.
I got wrecked a lot last season. I don't want to hear that. You take a look right here at the 37 of Eric Papinel. He gets down in turn 11.
I think he just cooked it.
Kind of got on the gas too quick.
Yeah,
good save.
It was a great save. Got on the gas a little bit too quickly. I think he also wanted to correct a little bit of diving in deep right there by maybe spinning the tires, trying to slide it a little bit. Couldn't do it. Look at Papinel going on the inside right here of Matthew Campbell. Matthew Campbell might try to throw a switchback, but he's too far in behind. Took that too wide. Papinel has now gone up a spot after losing that spot. This has been some good racing, and that's what happens when you have big fields of cars in the running order. The top 2 have broken away from the rest of the field, as Dinkle has a 4-second advantage over Acosta. Daniels is 3 seconds back of Acosta as well. It's starting to kind of stabilize, at least for the time being, in the top 5. It's anything but stable back here, though.
Yeah, it's road course racing is kind of like an emotional person. 1 second you're good, and then the next corner they're not good.
I feel like you just called me out, Terry.
Oh well, I mean, if the shoe fits Cinderella, then you must wear it, right? But
that's fair.
Look at Matthew Campbell back here in 22nd. Got a nice little mug shot. What a handsome devil he is.
I was gonna say that myself. He's smiling. He's making me smile. He's giving me, he's giving me happiness right now. This is what I gotta say. I don't know if he's the happiest with being back in 22nd position right now, but he is in the midst of a few battles going on. Obviously, chasing Papanow, who just passed him 1 lap ago in the turn 11 hairpin. So, Sonoma Raceway, of course, has gone under a lot of differences, as we see Matthew Acosta, or excuse me, Abner Acosta. Why did I say Matthew? I was looking at Matthew
Jose Acosta.
Oh, it's Jose, not Abner. That's right.
It's Jose Acosta.
Oh, man. Sometimes I just don't know what I am saying, Terry. Everything's happening on the left and rights of Sonoma. But what I was saying about Sonoma is that many people think it's, oh, boy, as we get a little bit of a spin in front of Acosta. You see that car in the back?
That's Pat Harvey.
Is Pat Harvey.
That's a free spot. He didn't have to work for that one. Jose gets a free one. A lot of people get it. He's going to fall back to 12th. Right in front of Tristan Callahan, and a little bit back, about a second off of Lou Christian, who's going to work his way into the top 11.
Press the intimidator button.
Yeah, that could have been big, and good reference to the NASCAR.
Thank you.
The NASCAR video games.
Thank you. That was I used that a lot and tried not to at Talladega and Daytona because that would cause the big one. But any other time, it's fair game. These cars. One of the coolest shots we usually get is coming down off of turn number 4 at the chute. Usually fun as we see Luke Christian currently in 11th. Oh boy, in the wall. That's a big hit.
That's a tough blow for the world's smallest staircase.
Matthew Long was also off track at the same point. That was the worst time to cut to an in-car camera plus the actual camera of Luke Christian, who obviously lost.
He never changed faces.
He never did change faces. You can never
tell. He's doing it again.
Oh, he might change faces now.
Now he's pissed.
Yeah. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, he's mad.
And that is blocking pit lane entry.
Oh, he's stuck. Oh, he's stuck. Now he's even more mad. No!
That is live anger, live frustration. You know, sometimes you just gotta get lucky. Sometimes you just gotta get lucky in live production.
Fantastic. That's awesome. Live commentary on a dude getting stuck in pit lane, and he looked so pissed. He just looked mad. And then he didn't change faces at first, but then he just looked pissed off. And it's like, well, I don't want to leave him now. We might as well stay on him.
He's going to look at the back at the YouTube broadcast, maybe, to see if they covered it and how they covered it. And we covered it all.
We covered the whole thing. You kind of got your whole face out there to everybody. Our producer feels bad. I don't feel bad at all. I think that's phenomenal. I wish every driver would share their cameras with us.
That's just great live action.
Yeah, it's amazing. Just show us your anger face. I mean, we got Austin Hunter 2 seasons ago in season 1 for the Truck Series, getting one of the luckiest wins with the caution getting thrown running at the timer, and we caught his face for a whole lap, and he was so surprised that he won it.
I would assume you'd be surprised you would win something as well, Terry, if you've ever won.
I got new pedals. The pedals are,
that's important.
Yeah, I kind of splurged a little bit on some new pedals. I'm not going to say the brand because
it's not like it's the official, partner of the NASCAR Coca-Cola Series. As we go into a replay right here.
shockingly enough, I kept the wheel, but I didn't keep the pedals.
Fair enough. Matthew Long went off track right around when we were looking.
And he caught the tire barrier.
Yeah, I didn't even notice he hit the tire barrier right there, but that's going to lead to some left side damage. He hit it pretty flush, though, with the side of the body, so I wonder if that's really going to give that much damage. He might just be fine to continue on rolling. He really didn't lose that many spots. He's back in 8th, but we've been watching with Eric Hogg for quite a little bit. A lot of cars right in behind him, as is Bradley Moore, or excuse me, not Bradley Moore. That's Chad Kibbe. Yeah, who's sporting a fantastic looking scheme. We go back to Maverick Davis in the 32. He's right now in the midst of a battle for the top 5. Get another replay right here. We'll see exactly what this is. It's Pat Harvey. Okay, so this happened pretty much right at the same time that Long went off course, and yep, did the same thing, just got on the accelerator a little bit too hard, a little too harshly, and got it turned around, but thankfully there's no wall there. You just kind of spin, as Chase Briscoe taught us. You just kind of go through there and figure it out.
Yeah, I ended up
spooling again.
Oh, there's Tom Macy. I think he's just gonna come. What did he do? He went in too deep, come off the exit of the corner, but I ended up getting Thrustmaster pedals.
Oh, Macy just spun again in live time. We didn't pick it up, but it was right in front of the leaders as well, so he's having a rough go of it down at least 2 laps. What do you see him?
Well, the Maverick Davis and Jose Acosta both almost went off. They went off track and almost lost it there. They picked up a lot of dirt. We'll take a look at a replay back here at the 24 machine. That's Jose Medina. He's going to lock it and spin it around right there.
Oh, right in front of some of the top guys, it seemed like, as well. But nonetheless, we join live pictures once again. There's been a lot of action happening all throughout this race. Only 26 cars remain on the lead lap. Actually, give it 25, as Jeff Chandler was just passed to go a lap down by Trent and Dinkle. But this battle is exciting, and here's a potential passing opportunity coming out of the chute in turn 7 from John T. Jones, who continues to climb his way forward. He's 8 spots off of where he initially started this race. I mean, he had one of the worst starts you could possibly get, just didn't turn the car left and hit the wall going into turn 1. It was a mess, but starting to rebound pretty nicely as well. This battle is really entertaining right here, and it is for the top 14 positions. Chad Kibbe, Bradley Moore, and John T. Jones, who gets spun into by Bradley Moore, just pinballs around, and Moore is turned around. We're just getting really lucky with these live shots, aren't we?
Yeah, and for John T. Jones, he's going to have to figure out if that damage is bad or not. He's taking back right here at Chris Hudson. He's fighting for the 9th place position with James O'Brien, who's just right in front of him. James O'Brien, his teammates leading this race, but you know, James is not a bad road racer on his own right. He's not necessarily, you know, what we got up in the race lead, but he's got some speed there for the private label team hype guys.
Well, Hudson's going to try and capitalize.
Hudson's going to get there, but is he going to clear him? No, it's going to be a drag race. And then James will clear him again, and Chris just was able to roll the brake just a little bit better, was able to carry more speed into 11, just couldn't carry it off the corner without making contact.
Yeah, Hudson got a little bit squirrely on corner exit as well, so he tried to get on the accelerator as quickly as possible to capitalize on James O'Brien going wide there, just could not do so. Behind this battle is, you guessed it, Pat Harvey, who is still battling here for a top 10 spot. This is for position number 9. And in front of these guys is a horde of cars as well. You can't really see them. We're looking at the back, but in the distance going forward, lots of drivers all kind of battling it out for top 8 spots. So good action here. Unless you are in the top 2 positions, then it's really just managing your tires, getting to the halfway point, and trying to get around any lapped traffic that you have to deal with. Let's talk tire strategy. Let's talk fuel strategy as well, Terry. Halfway. That's really what we're looking at.
I ain't pitting for tires.
I wouldn't either.
I'm pitting for fuel. I ain't pitting for tires.
No,
I ain't
it's
pitting
100.
for tires.
I don't know. I think that's really a question.
Hell no.
Why not?
Hell no, I ain't pitting for tires. There's no sense in it. The tire fall off isn't that bad. You're not falling off. You're actually picking up speed. With this tire model, you're just not going to fall off. We're 16 laps in. We have fell off a whopping 0.5 of a second. I ain't pitting for tires. It ain't happening. You can keep these things underneath you longer. Hell no. Am I pitting for tires? Take a look replay. Look right here at the 37 when he got loose off the corner, smacked into the 90. That's a hard hit in the wall, though.
Yeah, hard hit in the wall.
I ain't pitting for tires. I'll pit for a splash of fuel, fill that bad boy up, call it a day.
Let's see what exactly happens here on this pit stop.
He's pitting for damage.
Yeah, okay.
He's coming in to get that Ford Mustang fixed. Everybody else will pit probably around lap 35. I would imagine we'd go to 30, 35. You'll start to see people pit. It's so spread out up in the front. So spread out up there. Abner's not going to be able to short pit him. Joshua Daniels isn't going to be able to short pit. Mills, maybe. Regan, maybe. Richard Regan Jr. drove up from 12th to 5th. I would imagine Jose could. This battle for 7th with Davis, Long, and Davis and Long, they could potentially try to short pit each other and go out there and put a burner down, but I ain't
so basically, there's no reason to then go halfway if you're just going for fuel. Just try and run the tank dry and then get it going again. So we're getting reports of more spinning happening on the track. That's just par for the course in this race. You know, it's surprising. All I kept hearing on the radio at Sonoma was, I need tires. I have no grip. Just give me tires. And it's wild. It's just handling better here in Sim right now. Different track temperatures and all that. But look at this hard charge into the hairpin. Do you think they can terraform turn 11 and maybe hit the inside barriers? They don't move, do they?
Nah, I hit them a couple times.
Do they move?
No. We see Charles Sumner back here.
You move.
Whenever we see Charles Sumner, he's either giving a penalty or he's locking it up and spinning it around. And I guess he ain't going to give himself a penalty unless he hits somebody, but looks to be all right. Got her back around. Not too bad. Not too shabby. He gave me a penalty. He gave me a penalty last season. Charles gave me a pretty hefty one. Oh,
that was a squirrely looking race car right there.
Yeah, Davis right there almost got punted there by the 32 or by the 28. That was almost a bad time. He slowed up really hard, and then it almost allowed the 28 along to just get in the back bumper of him, but they both slowed it up right here. But the battle's going to rage on here. Can they catch up here to that 42 machine, or are they just going to sit here and lose more time? Is lap traffic starting to play a little bit more of a dividend than I thought?
Yeah, there are a ton of cars a lap down. I mean, we're talking 17 cars right now on the lead lap. That's less than half the group of cars, as there's a little bit of an accordion effect right here because of those lap cars. There's nowhere to go to get out of the way either. It's so hard. And Amacy almost takes out the 28 and the 32. My goodness, there's just nowhere to go.
Yeah, I thought my biggest key race-wise is if you know you're slow, move out of the way. And
where?
Well, I mean, you can go to the outside, take it wide.
Yeah.
He's trying to. He is trying.
It's just hard.
It is hard when you're battling with other drivers. I mean, I would rather just let them all go than try to hold your most dominant line, because you only got a couple passing zones around here without putting another person at risk. It's a bit of a sticky situation, as here we're gonna have
especially with so many S curves, right, where the inside becomes the outside really quickly. So where do you go? You just need to be predictable. That's all. But it's hard to be predictable when you're changing the wheel rotation so often from positive to negative, left to right, like that on the snap of your fingers. So I don't envy, as oh boy, Chris Hudson said, let me go for a little bit of a ride going up into turn 2 in this winding section right here. Car off track. That's Brian Johnson in the 6 machine, and just exploring the wildlife here at Sonoma. It can be quite beautiful.
We must see if we can get a Brucey to call. It's we caught that one too.
Oh boy,
who that was in front of him. Maybe we'll get a Brucey to come sponsor the PRL. They make some really good simwear stuff. Good set of gloves. I hear they partnered with the McConey Setup Shop, who is the official setup shop of the NASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing series, and the premier title for the C-Fix, powered by McConey Setup Shop.
If you want to see a man who understands how to use blue flags, like you got to look at Charles Sumner right here. Replay was pulled up. Look at this. He knows where to go. Well, he might just be exploring right now.
That sounds like a good time. That's something that the rallycross drivers would want to do. He got out of everybody's way. He sure let everybody go around him.
Hey, it was great racing there.
Sure was. It's Richard Regan Jr. caught Landon Mills right here to take that battle for 4th and end it, and they're catching Daniels. So, hey, I know he's a long shot behind. He's about 20 seconds back. But if those two leaders get racy up there, if they make a mistake on pit road, I wouldn't hold out here that maybe the 56 or the 25 will have something to say about the end of this race.
I'd like to see that. We are over a third of the way into this race, lap 23 now of 60. So we're closing in on that halfway point here. 7-second gap between Dinkle and Acosta, and a further 11 seconds, 12 seconds really, between Acosta and Daniels. That's where we're looking at that battle for Daniels on back. He has lost so much steam. And let me ask you this. Even though he's lost that steam, I don't know if it's him losing time as much as the rest gaining time. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of them just losing time to him because he's consistent. His fastest time up at the front was a 1:14.212. The next best to him is, there's a big wreck back there with the 27. That's Matthew Campbell, the handsome devil. He's around it. It looks like he's in a bad spot. Worse for the wear. They could be able to hold it. He's going to now try to get back on track.
Hudson trying to make a pass, gets to the bumper. I know we're not on it, but goodness gracious, some good action going on in the top 10. Look at this. Oh, a slide from in behind Hudson. That's Pat Harvey trying to make do in the S's. He really wants that spot. Callahan right in behind. 4 cars under a blanket.
Yeah, 4 cars under a blanket. It's going to go Brian, Hudson, Harvey, Callahan, and they come right here roaring into turn 11. This is when you, what did you say? Turn the intimidator button on?
Oh, yeah.
Try to figure out a spot where their weakness is. If their weakness is potentially going into turn 1 or going into the S's, capitalize on it. You've seen with these next-gen cars that you could use just a little bit of the bumper without necessarily sending them into outer space. You can kind of push them off the racetrack just a little bit out of the groove. All of these drivers are real respectful, but I wouldn't be too sure if here at about lap 30, we get about 6 more laps, if they're still sitting in their current position, we'll potentially see them try to flip this pit strategy, come down pit road, and Brian catches the wall.
Yeah, he just got completely loose on the exit of turn 4 heading into turn 7, you know, weird corner names, all that, and just hit the wall and almost was glued to it. It wasn't the hardest of hits, but it definitely got him off balance with all of the rumble strips and all that come off of that. But we're still watching with Hudson now in position number 9. Pat Harvey having Tristan Callahan come in from behind. Harvey locks the brakes and gets tagged from Callahan. Oh, this is some good racing.
Yeah, Callahan could have put Pat Harvey in a real bad situation with the 33 right in front of him. If he wouldn't have, locked him up behind the 67, we were going to see a really dynamic change up here at the front. And it's not going to let Eric Hag come up and catch him because he's 18 seconds off of this fight by itself. But it would have easily cut that in just a little bit and made I wouldn't say an easier pass for anybody up here, but damage here. This is a faster road course than what you normally would get. This and Watkins Glen are not similar, but they're similar speed-wise. So aerodynamics would play a big factor, and especially with these cars, damage very easy to obtain. You can catch one of these potholes off the exit of one of these corners, and then boom, you got a broken tire rod.
Harvey, a better entry line into that fast right-hand corner. Is he close enough to make a move down the inside? He's going to take a peek. He's there. He locks it up, and I think that was more of a avoidance right there from James O'Brien. And right in front is Chris Hudson getting past the lapped car of Brandon Walter. Walter on the outside here as we enter turn 1. Props to Eric Hogg for his race so far, up, I believe, 14 spots over where he started. That's the highest, the biggest mover out of anybody in this race so far. Remember, we're doing this just completely under green.
Yeah. I mean, we're not going to get that caution flag, even though it would be entertaining, to say the least, to get one. We're just not going to, that would work. I'm not sure we're going to see too many cautions next either, as, next week we're going to go to Nashville. But if we do see a good bit of cautions next week, we must have done something.
I'm going to be Nashville'd out by the time Sunday night comes around. I'll be at the track Friday and Saturday, and then watch the race on Sunday, and then come on here Sunday night to have a bit of enjoyment. Isn't there going to be a little bit of overlap between the race and this race?
I don't think so. I don't think so at all. We actually end the Cup race very quickly to this one.
Nat Cup race is at 7 o'clock on Sunday. This starts at 8:30.
Is it a night race?
Yep. So that'll be interesting.
Dang. That kind of sucks.
We'll just let all the viewers know what's going on.
I mean, we can always just call that race instead of this one.
Yeah, but then we have 36 drivers. Yeah.
I mean, we'd be showing it, and
that's true.
PRL would care.
That's fair. 13
as long
cars.
as it's covered, right?
I mean, right, of course. Just you don't need, just use AI generated voices for us. I
mean, that's all we do anyhow. We're just AI generated. I mean, we're over Discord, so technically it AIs into it. With the amazing features of AI on iRacing, and you can start your career today on iRacing.com. You can put yourself in the portal to the iRacing world. It's 40% off new members. You can go out here and race with the best of us. You can race in PRL. That is iRacing.com.
Nice plug.
I eat, sleep, and breathe iRacing. I don't know where you want me to go with that.
You somehow missed out on the part where you improve at iRacing.
I have greatly improved.
I know. Love you, buddy.
Look at Davis
this.
here. Slideway City up at the top of the hill.
He just wants to show off his moves right there. So this is another interesting factor about coming off of that hill in turn 3 and going down the track into that turn 4. You lose so much downforce because the air pushes the car up as you're going at the crest of the hill downwards. It almost, I mean, think about it this way. You ever see that footage from, I think it was 1999, the Mercedes prototype car that Mark Webber and company was driving, and it just flipped? You remember that?
Yeah.
It was because all that, they were going over a small hill and all that downforce went away and just completely lifted the car. And to an obvious much lesser effect here, it does play out as we kind of just watch Trent Dinkle doing Trent Dinkle things. 11 seconds building. I mean, this gap from last lap to this lap, it might be a second bigger over Abner Acosta. Just absolute masterclass here from Dinkle.
You know, and a lot of these drivers are looking for grip, and you know how you could really easily obtain grip?
New tires?
Yes. Or you can put Coca-Cola on it because it's the official fan refresher of the NASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing series. And
okay.
It's a premier sponsor for the NASCAR College Series. And you just have to try it first. There's a lot of drivers coming down pit road. Richard Regan Jr. is going to come in the box here. It's entertaining. Let's see, does he come in for tires or does he come in for fuel?
It's no tires there for Richard Regan Jr. You know, you could probably feel all the bumps and the curbs and just feel that tire slippage if you get the butt kicker. Provide some really good immersion and realism to
you can feel
iRacing
every nuance.
Yes. You can do it all with the butt kicker.
The butt kicker.
I used to have a butt kicker a few years ago, and it was awesome to have on my sim rig. Sold a lot of it off before because I just had no time for it, and now I'm kind of upset I did because I want it back.
I'm very, very upset that.
Why? You get your butt kicked all the time?
What?
Terry, I'm sorry, man.
That's pretty savage, man. We can work together all season. We got all season long.
We do.
And you're already starting off with damn zingers.
I think that's 4. I think that's 4 for me today.
I want Joey Tebbin back. Where's Joey?
Wow. All right. You want the other guy from Pennsylvania.
Where's Tebbin at? I need Joey Tebbin to come back because he was nice to me. He gave me treats. Fair. He told me I only had to beg for 2 of them. As Charles Sumner comes down pit road right here.
Charles knows that this lane of pit lane goes right back onto the track. He cuts back. Yeah, Charles, what a great guy. That is a fantastic scheme, I have to say, because
orange Tropicana.
Orange and green almost always screams to me Tropicana orange juice. Does it not?
I just love Tropicana. It's the best orange juice, and holy crap. Trent Dinkle again. He is 0.5 of a second faster than the field on lap 31. You remember when I told you you're not taking tires? Trent's not taking tires. That thing has gotten faster. And I think he's running... Yeah, I think he's running EPI setup here. He's in the Discord quite often. You just take a look right here at the High Rock Vodka car. Is that Mike Witt in the 88 machine? It is Mike Witt. I got a bottle of High Rock Vodka actually sitting in front of me here. I got from Landon Huff.
Really? Oh no. We'll talk to Terry in a few moments. You saw this.
I'm dumb.
Oh,
I'm dumb. My laptop shut. My bad. My laptop just came to a crashing halt.
I thought we were about to have this grand story about Landon Huffman providing you with that bottle, and you just completely left.
Yeah, the laptop was drinking. That's what it is. It's a little thirsty. Yeah, that got a little funny. I changed broadcast positions, so I moved my table, and the hardest part of actually moving everything around is trying, because I run 3 monitors on top of the PC, and the worst part of this whole situation is when you move everything around, you have no room to do anything. You have a bed, and then you have everything else behind you. And unfortunately, when I made this move, to this portion, my bigger screen carries the vMix call for the race broadcast on it. And then my other monitor carries live timing, and then I watch the YouTube chat as well as an admin in there. And I can't see the dang monitor, at least a section of it, with my laptop up. So it kind of sucks. I can only see like 80% of it, and it just irritates me. So I have to find a place to put the laptop to get it out of my way.
By the way, there is a really good on-track battle between Jose Acosta and Matthew Long for a top 5 position. Long almost just lost it going around 11, and goodbye.
Right when you mentioned the battle.
Right when I mentioned it.
Yeah. Oh, but the thing about the vodka, so it was
okay.
My first ever racetrack, my first ever real big boy racetrack. I went to Florence Motor Speedway, and I was working with LSR TV. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to mention them on here, but I did. Oh well. And I was working for them. Wesley Outland took me to Florence to do some broadcast stuff, to actually go interview people on pit road. And Landon had it was his first race with High Rock Vodka, I believe. And he was doing autographs. Well, he gave me a hero card, and they gave me a bottle of vodka. And appreciate all the people that I got to meet out there from them. They were real kind people. There was a Tennessee fan that was there. We got to chit-chatting about the balls, and Landon signed the bottle of vodka for me, and it just sits behind my rig. I just sit there because I don't drink, so sitting there looking at a bottle of vodka all day kind of does nothing for me.
That's fair. I remember in 2018 there was on the topic of wine bottles being in Napa Valley in Sonoma, there was a Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl champion special edition one that was released, and I could not get it because I was just 20 at the time, so could not purchase that.
Somebody
bottle.
buy it for you?
Yeah, listen, we are not condoning any of that. You're putting me in a weird spot here, Terry.
Yeah, you say that offline. You hit me in my DMs.
2018, my friend. 2018, as we see way off course at the chute. Getting right back on track. Can't quite see who
That's
that
Tom
is.
Amacy.
Oh, Amacy's had such a maze of a day. Trying to get through this racetrack as he sat back in 31st position. Luke Christian, 2 laps in front of him. Here's an incredible thing. I have no idea how Trent Dinkle is doing this. He's about to lap Matthew Long, who is running in 11th as we speak. Of course, Matthew Long was just in the pits as well. And I just can't get over the fact that Dinkle is going to put everyone a lap down except some of the top 10.
Well, once everybody comes in pits, I mean, he has such a commanding lead on the field that he just might lap all the way up. I would imagine that he could potentially lap all the way up to 6th if it stays the way that it's staying.
A lot of lap cars at the front to cause him some concern, though, I will say, as he tries to go underneath the Long. Oh, didn't quite see. You're not there. We're seeing some High Rock Vodka action. You like that right there?
We'll work on your plugs. We'll get you there.
Well, I don't even... Tinkle trying to get through traffic right here. Yes, please help me, Terry, a lord of all plugs in broadcasts as well.
The only thing I don't need is hair plugs. I got everything else going for me plug-wise.
All right. Let's get away from this topic as we go into turn 4 down the chute, and Tinkle is going to try and make a move down the inside, and he'll get it done to put Matthew Long a lap down.
You know what? You know what won't put you down a lap on the highway?
What is it?
Using an air filter, cabin filter, or oil filter from CarQuest. That always keeps you on the road, keeps you going and breathing amazing air.
Replay showing up here. There's a replay showing up right here of Pat Harvey, and Harvey just overcooks it, goes off track, and gets it back going again, while 3 cars past 4 cars make that happen a 5th before he's able to get the car back on track. And the next victim of Trent Dinkle is his position, his bet has been laid right there. It was Brian Dixon. The next one that he's going to have to deal with is in 9th place with Davis. We're looking at the 84 machine right now of
Waldo Walden.
Yeah, I was going to go with the low-hanging fruit of where's Waldo. He is in 19th right now. So we get back to another replay here, and it is of John T. Jones, who, again, what a day. Whew, kept it going, though. And it's a good thing there's no wall there. But Waldo is in 19th. Oh, wait, we have big news. Richard Regan has gone off track. 2-car incident, and it's a big wreck coming out of the hairpin. Amacy just stayed his line. We'll see in the replay right here. We'll watch it with you live. In the top left, Amacy way on the outside. And what is Regan doing? Amacy didn't move.
Wow.
Regan is very upset right now on the radio, and Amacy's saying, what do you want me to do? I gave you all the room. And in fairness, I don't see anything Amacy did wrong.
Yeah, I don't either. Wow. Yeah, because he came off the corner, held it. I mean,
what?
He's not going to give you the wall. And I love Richard to death, but what are you doing, mate?
Yeah. Yeah, that was wildly intriguing because it just makes no sense, right?
You know what does make sense?
I don't need another plug.
Using RaceSpotTV.com. And if you use the discount code Precision5, you get 5% off. That's RaceSpotTV.com.
Being that it's one of the PRL's presenting partners, I will allow you
let that slide.
I will let
that one slide.
As Brandon Walter will go in. There's a drive-through penalty. Couldn't quite hear who it was, but yes, it's Amacy actually, who has a 15X. So, it's after that collision with Richard Regan Jr. And oh boy. Yeah, that's another thing as we're hearing from some communications in the background here. Richard Regan Jr.'s actual connection quality is lower by far than anybody else in this field. With a high of 100, he is at right now around a 40, and he keeps popping in and out of this race. I wonder if he could be potentially dropped.
Yeah, connectivity issues always seem to bite people in the butt, but if you use advanced sim racing for all your gaming needs, you'll never have that problem. They build high quality pieces across the board, and they come in stall. Very, very good pricing too. I actually priced out a sim rig for when I move to my hopefully new house in Charlotte that we want to go up to. It's gonna be a good time as Richard Regan Jr. did drop out of the session, connectivity issues, so that's gonna drop him through this running order unless he comes back. He's gonna continue to fall, potentially go a couple laps down as Landon Mills just pitted from the lead. That's gonna put Trent Dinkel back in the front.
By the way, James O'Brien was the first of the top runners to blink when it comes to going into the pits. And just as we say that, Jose Acosta and Landon Mills are doing the same. The top two have stayed out. Abner Acosta got it to a 10-second difference between he and Dinkel, which is better than 12 seconds, but not better than 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1.
I'm surprised you could count. You kind of caught me off guard there for a second. So Dinkel pitted 2 laps ago with Abner Acosta just coming down pit road, which left Landon Mills out on the racetrack. And then Mills obviously came down. He'll fall back into the 3rd place position with Joshua Daniels 1 spot behind him. Actually closed the gap up a little bit. It was about 3 seconds. It separated them. Now it's only 1.3. So we'll see what the 77 can do to potentially go up there and catch the 25 machine. They're not going to catch the top 2 unless something crazy happens. I'm not too sure that he's going to that Abner's actually going to catch Trent Dinkel either. I'm not sure. Joey's not here to give us this amazing stat. Maybe you'll have this pulled up. Has a champion of the PRL ever won the championship and then came back and won race number 1 of the next season?
Let me get back to you on that.
It would be a trivia question out there for anybody out there in the chat that's paying attention as a historian of the PRL. I'd be very curious to know if any one of the past champions in any series has won in the following season, race number 1.
Man, that's a statistic that will take me away from my duties for way too long in this broadcast.
Just curious where Joey Tebbin is, who was.
I'm not here, or I'm not him. Okay.
Where's the voice of the PRL when you need him?
It's definitely not in this broadcast booth right now.
But you are the voice of Sundays this season, and I'm the voice of Wednesdays this season.
Who's with you on Wednesdays?
I have Derek Watson will be joining me on Wednesday nights for the truck and
very nice
Xfinity season.
One of the newer Race Spot members.
Correct. So he's going to work with me, and that's interesting. Wow.
That lap was faster than his qualifying time.
Yes.
By like a tenth and a half.
Yes, it was. Wow. A 113.839 on lap 42 of the race. Going on we're working lap 43 now. And he's boogieing. That wasn't even close. That was a full second faster than Abner Acosta. And he's still on the same set of tires, which shockingly enough, Dylan, it was an 8.9 second stop for Abner Acosta to a 12-second stop there for the 9 of Dinkel. And Nick McLaughlin, actually, Tebbin will be there Wednesday, but in the field.
Oh, that's going to be great.
Yeah. So we swapped roles for anybody who watched last season. I drove the number 3.
Thank goodness for all of our eyes.
I drove the 3. and yeah.
Unfortunate, and it's very unfortunate for all of our ears.
Yeah. Oh, Charles Sumner in the background. Oh, tough break. But no, you hush your mouth. It was. I had a good time racing last season, and for anybody who watched, I had a lot of improvements throughout the season to learn the fix setup. We take a look at the replay right here of Charles Sumner just catches the grass And around he
Oh,
goes.
that's a hard hit. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a hard hit right there. And no meatball to him, so he keeps it going. Tinkle keeps making
The wheel's straight, son. That's all you need to know.
That's awesome.
As long as the wheel's straight, Dylan, we're content, man.
Yeah, that's all you got to worry about here.
Okay. Hey, Nick McLaughlin. He won the 2022 Season 2 Ferrari Fixed Championship, and then he won round 1 of the 2022 Season 3 GT3 Sprint AM. So, okay. So, Nick found it out there, but he only won the class, not overall. So I will pose the question again. Have we had any single one of them, any person that has won the race the season after they won the championship? I'm curious to know. That could be a trivia question out there for somebody, and we'll see maybe at the end of the season we do something for them. I'll try to throw some trivia out every now and again because, well, I want to learn more about it.
You know, I absolutely would do that research. I just can't manage that while also trying
We'll have the answer next week. Whoa,
Yes.
we'll have the answer next week. I'll do some digging and talk to Joey. I'm sure he sent me the cheat sheet. I just have to dig through it a little bit more. There's a lot going on, but yeah, because now I got to put practice in for the broadcast instead of putting practice in for the race. It's a little less practice, but it's still the same amount. You still got to know what the car feels like to the track. You got to know what the setups will do. You have to understand a lot of this. There's a lot that goes into these broadcasts that people don't get to see.
This is true, and let's talk about that in a moment because, look, we've got an on-track battle that could potentially be between 3 cars in just a moment. Right now, we're seeing Maverick Davis and Matthew Long fighting for that 6th position, but right in front, in your screen, and then out of your screen for a second, you see the gap to the top 5. So this is for a top 5 spot. They're all trying to chase down Jose Acosta, and I don't know about you, but I really enjoy saying I finished in the top 5 rather than finishing 6th and say I'm in the top 10.
Yeah, I think that always sounds good. I don't know what that feels like. I only got 1 top 10 last season, and the rest of my finishes was
I'm just letting you roll with that one. That's a cell phone right there.
Yeah, I'll burn myself on that one. Yeah. Most of it was either bad luck or just, getting wrecked by a lot of people.
So Jose Acosta has a lot of lap traffic directly in front of him, around 4 cars that are at least a lap down, some 5 laps down. I mean, it's not looking great for him to try and get by, but at the end of the day, this could lead to a very intriguing battle. Brandon Walters right in front, 2 laps down. Luke Christian, 4 laps down. Robert Bisol is 1 lap down, and Bradley Moore is just gone into the pits. So this could push... and by the way, Moore has a black flag as well. This could push back Jose Acosta into Maverick Davis and Matthew Long even more if Acosta is not able to dispatch the lap cars quickly.
Yeah, and even more as Bradley Moore comes to serve his black flag. Yeah, I think the lap traffic here has fairly been respectful than what we've seen quite a bit. As you take a look at Eric Hagg right here, trying to get around Tristan Callahan, who's right in front of him. That's a battle for the top 11 positions. Hagg's had an up and down type of race here, and so is Callahan. Hadn't necessarily been up in the front, but hadn't necessarily been too far back. They just had a very steady race.
Ooh!
They got a couple lap cars in front of them, though.
So, almost catastrophe for Jose Acosta, who is not the happiest, I think, with some of the traffic, particularly Brandon Walter, who turns the 32. Oh, boy.
I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
Well, Walter apologized to Jose Acosta for almost taking him for a ride going through the S's, and oh boy, similar situation happens that happened with Richard Regan. So let's see exactly what happened. Going way wide, and they're side by side right here, and I can't blame Walter. I really can't.
What the hell you mean you can't blame him? Back out of the gas. That's what you do in that situation. Back out of it. You got a driver to your outside, let him go.
No,
what are you racing for?
He would have another driver right in behind him.
Who cares? Back out of the gas. What are you fighting for?
Simply don't hit him.
Or back out of the gas.
Yeah, but he wasn't the one who made the contact.
If you throttle it, if we go on board, I guarantee you'll hear the throttle right there. Throttle back up in that situation. Just let him go and then hit the throttle. Just back out completely. That's all you got to do. Just back out of the gas.
He backs out completely, then he has to deal with the fact that there's another car that's going to be upset with him as well. Watch.
He's on the gas. Back out of it.
But
just back out of the gas.
There's another driver right in behind.
Okay, back out completely.
I vehemently disagree with you here. Let's move
you
on.
Let the chat you can let the chat agree with me. If you back out of the gas right there, where you have no issue. They're going to keep going. They're going to catch the throttle. They're going to clear you 100%. I'm sure that the 32 of Maverick thought for sure that he was going to back out and let him go and let those two race for the position instead of getting back in the throttle. And I said, I'm not mad at him. Waldo didn't, they didn't do that's necessarily wrong, but let him race for a position. You heard it. I even said, I guarantee you that he got back on the throttle, and damn, he even came off the wall a whole foot.
That's
he was a foot off the wall.
Terry, you just went up 5 octaves there. I hear you. He did come off the wall. He did come off the wall in turn right for sure, and that is the reason I would say Walter is partially to blame there. It wasn't the best judgment all around from anyone involved in that incident, in my opinion. We see some contact right there. So we've got some good battles all of a sudden happening as we enter the last 11 laps of this race. We've got a battle for third brewing as well, a podium position between Lando Bills and Joshua Daniels.
He's got a full second to make up there as you see it in the screen now as Landon's going to go through the S's, go down that little bit of a hill right there. It's going to be entertaining to see because Mills hasn't necessarily been the strongest, but a very good start to the season if he's able to finish right here. And wow, Abner finally woke up. That's a 1:13.778. Oh, and who is that spun around inside the final corner?
It's Bradley Moore. He's had a rough race. I think someone was upset with Tom Macy again, who almost got in the way of James O'Brien. Goodness me. Replay machine has been getting the work this race. Was a 34 turn there is the question. I'm not sure.
Didn't look like he was. Just looked like maybe he throttled up too much there off the exit. We've seen that a couple times.
And you don't want to throttle up at that exit either, right, Terry?
Well, I mean, you do, but you don't want to give it too much. I've taken a lot of notes road-wise. I don't like road in the next-gen cars. I'll tell you right now, this is not my forte road-wise in these cars. I barely have driven these cars. I get maybe 10 or 15 laps of practice in them. I don't like how they feel to me. I haven't necessarily figured them out on road, but I do like them on 2-mile tracks. I enjoy them a lot on 1.5 miles. The short track wise, I am a very, very big fan of being able to drive them in not sticky situations, but short track wise, these cars to me on iRacing bring a lot of not close niche, but they allow you to drive the car just a little bit more on that right rear. They're very stable. but it lets you feel like you're able to drive it. Oh, Harvey put the bumper there to Maverick.
That was more fender into Maverick Davis, and I think Harvey almost took his foot off the gas to say, I want to pass it cleanly, so go right back around. Almost opened the door up for Chris Hudson to come through, as this is a three-way battle for 7th position right now. We'll catch our replay here as we went through turn 11. And
Tom Macy again.
No, Tom Macy. Yeah, what happened here? The 05.
We might need to get a replay of your soul leaving your body, because Matt Danson just threw a banger at you. As he said, to be fair, Dylan is usually hanging on for dear life on these circuits. Stay tough, Terry.
Oh, man.
Your boy's got a fan out there in the chat. All I'm going to say is he saw that I was right and you were wrong. He shot his shot. I mean, I hang on for dear life in these circuits too, but listen, I'm not a road driver, and I won't claim to be one. I tell you, there's 3 good road drivers right here that are right on top of each other, trying to get around, like you talked about, cleanly. And Pat Harvey did make that pass very clean. He got around, was able to hang on here without making contact with that 32 of Maverick Davis, who in his first start, mind you, not having a bad race. Other than that issue right there with Walter, holding strong here, going to potentially get a top 10 finish. That's a very good statement in your first race, and we'll see if maybe he can rebound at Nashville. And then obviously the wild card coming into this is the Chicago street course. A lot of these drivers are probably going to have to buy the track for the first time and race it. So going to be fun to see which one of these drivers show up and run well.
The really interesting thing about the Chicago street course to me is the map itself. The layout of the track itself is not complicated. It's just that the walls are surrounding the entire track. So,
well, walls normally surround tracks, Dylan.
Terry. There's also there's a lot of dirt and grass that you could just go through right here. I mean, listen, like Matt Danson said, I know enough about these tracks that there is not a wall in all the parts of this track. You can go off track a lot and not hit a wall. As we catch a replay here of the 99. It's Brandon Walter and going for a spin. Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. This is where you can go. There's no wall there.
I'd say there's normally walls surrounding tracks. I'm pretty sure there's only a couple short track places you go to that potentially that are not on iRacing, like Florence, where there's not a wall going into turn 1. It's just tree line or tire barriers. Trent Dingle said, hey, Abner, I know you wanted to set a faster time, which with the new features on iRacing, is the battle right there between the 32 and the 43 of Chris Hudson. That's shaped up well, and now it's going to be, Loose City.
Oh, and he dives in.
Oh, he almost got turned for that one.
Yeah.
But they save it, and they're still driving the wheels off of it.
If I'm Maverick, I don't give him any breaks now.
Oh, if I'm Maverick, I'm shipping him.
Yeah, Maverick as Trent Dingle sends another fastest lap of the race. Yeah, Maverick Davis, he was on the inside there, and Chris Hudson just thought he wasn't there and turned right into him. Wouldn't be surprised if we see just no forgiveness given for that.
I think the 32's just lost some speed there after that little bit of contact he's made with the wall and that incident. And going back to what I was saying, I
not me fighting walls because Matt Danson says not a wall. Matt says there's not a wall I haven't found, which is true.
Well, like I was saying, the no wall thing. So Florence is just tree line. Berlin, there's no wall out there. There's a couple tracks that there is no wall. That's just tree line, and I don't know. I think it'll be really, really fun to see a place like Florence come into the iRacing service. And with the new update, I was talking about the update too that iRacing came out with. It actually tells you who set the fastest lap. It tells you what the leader's last lap was. You know, it gives you different updates throughout the race when it's a key moment. If the leader's catching you, it'll tell you. If you're actually faster than the leader, it'll tell you. So great updates here on this patch, and hopefully
By the
The
way,
next patch is going to be rain.
do you see who has caught up to this battle for 7th?
That's
Really
the 33.
Yes, and look who's right behind.
Is that?
Trent Dinkle.
Oh, yeah, the leader. I looked up at my timing screen and was like, wait a minute. It's 1:13 laps. Maverick is 1:14 back. And it's 1:13 back for Chris Hudson. 1:09 back for Pat Harvey. They're going to go a lap down. I said he could lap up to probably 6th. I wasn't playing. He might get all the way up to 7th. A lap down. He is on a mission.
He could just potentially go up and find himself another 20 seconds or so, just knowing Trent Dinkle.
You know, if you really wanted to throw it out at Matt Danson, you could just throw out the shot that he did not win the RSR race here at Sonoma.
Nah, because he's won plenty of others, man.
I know, but he didn't win this one. He let Agnell Phillip win it on Monday as, the 32 of Maverick's going to let the 9 go. Wow. This man's bodying people out here.
Literally does not even need to physically make contact with another car for the other drivers to say, okay, I'm just letting you get out of the way. I'm just getting out of the way here. Well, we earlier in the race, the track temperature was 102 degrees Fahrenheit. Now it's 95 degrees Fahrenheit. So not the hottest day on record here in the Napa Valley, which is not too far away from, I mean, it's literally at the uppermost point of the Bay Area. Wonderful location. When we were there for the NASCAR weekend at Sonoma just a few weekends ago, I went to a San Francisco Giants game, and I took the ferry from Vallejo to Oracle Park. That was a lot of fun. Lots of things to do all around Sonoma. And the track is actually, I believe, in Sears Point, which of course is what it was named for the longest amount of time before it was naming rights were purchased by Infineon and then reverted back to Sonoma Raceway, as we see Trent Dinkle trying to get by a increasingly difficult to pass Chris Hudson as a driver in front goes well wide. That's the 199, so Dinkle passes 2 cars, sets 1 a lap down with just a moment to go. What is this, pacing laps, the 32 and the 199? It looks like the 199 is holding up the 32 for a moment off the exit right there, but gets by him. Just 2 laps to go, I should say. And Trent Dinkle realistically can catch up and lap Pat Harvey and leave everyone except the top 6 on the lead lap. Abner Acosta, 16 and a half seconds off the lead. He's had a fairly mundane race as well, as he has an even larger gap between him and third than he is behind Dinkle. I wonder, could this be, and now I'll just say this straight out, Trent Dinkle is the favorite again. With so many road courses, you know, you kind of look at other drivers to maybe say, hey, they could potentially do something strong, do something different, put a fresh name, a fresh face into conversations here. Trent Dinkle just would tell you he hates that opinion as he starts his last lap, because Trent Dinkle can dominate at any racetrack. But Abner Acosta and Landon Mills has really impressed me here. Abner Acosta is there, right? He's 15 and a half seconds off. The question is, how much of this is Dinkle not sandbagging, but also not necessarily giving it his all? If worse comes to worse and Acosta was setting fast laps like that, 13.636, could he do anything about, continuing to push himself? And I'm sure Dinkle could. I'm sure he has a few tenths every extra lap that he's just kind of letting go because he's got the fastest machine and he's the fastest driver, Terry.
I'm going to go on a limb and say that Trent Dinkle's not the favorite for the championship this year. I'm going to say it's Abner. And I'm only saying this because Trent does not like to be the favorite. right? I'm not going to put that on him and say that Trent Dinkel's the favorite to win it. I think he is going to win it, but he's not my favorite to win it. I'm going to go with the 5 as he's going to round the last corner, Dylan. He's coming home, last season's champion, going to come take a victory.
Well, Trent Dinkel, champion from last year, opens the next season with a statement. He wins at Sonoma, flag to flag, pole position, and the win. But I don't think he got the fastest lap, as Abner Acosta said it on the penultimate lap. Acosta crosses the line in position number 2, and then a further 35 or 25 seconds back is Landon Mills. We still got a little bit of a battle going on between Matthew Long and Jose Acosta going through the S's here. This is for 6th, or 5th, I should say.
Yeah, the 5th place battle's going to heat up. We'll see if that half a second's going to work, as they're going to come down to the final corner. Yeah, he's too deep in the corner. It's going to be Jose Acosta coming off of last season's finale win to get a top 5 here. There was no catch in that top 4. They were on top of things all race long. Comes across that line to pull a 5th, and then Matthew Long 6th, and everybody else is a lap down other than Pat Harvey.
Yeah, Pat Harvey is going to be the last car on the lead lap to finish this race. Gets the checkered flag. 7 cars on the lead lap. Holy jumping. That's wild.
I like holy jumping. I'm going to use that.
It's I think we should continue using that term. Results, Trent Dinkel and Abner Acosta. How about that for a 1-2 team sweep right there? Landon Mills, Joshua Daniels, Jose Acosta, Matthew Long, and Pat Harvey, your 7 cars on the lead lap. Maverick Davis, James O'Brien, Chris Hudson round out the rest of your top 10, while Eric Hogg, Tristan Callahan, and Robert Bisol Jr. are the cars just 1 lap down. Continues going with John T. Jones, Mike Witt, Waldo Walden, Eric Papineau, and Robert Gamble 2 laps down. Jeff Chandler, Brandon Walter, who had a wall of a day himself, 3 laps down, as well as Charles Sumner, who finishes a respectable 21st. Good job, Charles. And Matthew Campbell had a lot of issues himself, 3 laps down, 22nd. Bradley Moore, Chad Kibbe, Wayne Gross, 4 laps down. Luke Christian, Rachel Hunt, and 5 laps down. Brian Dixon, 6 laps down. Jose Medina, 8 laps down. Tom Macy, 30th, 17 laps down. Richard Regan Jr. could have done something really big in this race, but had an issue with a wreck earlier and also had connectivity issues. Finishes 20 laps down in 31st. Brian Johnson, Patrick Cowgill, Richard Pruitt, Jay McDonald round out the field. Colton Easterday did not take the grid, was registered for the session, but did not race in this at all, did not go into qualifying. He did set a time in practice, but he only... he did actually 15, 20 laps in practice. So that is your 36 drivers who did register for this session. And we're not waiting on anyone right now for the interview. Actually, we do have Landon Mills. So we're going to bring in Landon here, Terry.
What's up, Landon? How are you?
Exhausted.
Why are you tired?
Exhausted. Running that car for 60 laps in the fixed setup is, you're sweating.
You go run all season long?
I'm gonna try to run all season long. Yeah, just on like free setup stuff. Nothing. I don't feel like buying or putting that much effort into this, but I had fun wheeling the crap out of that car.
Well, so what do we do here to potentially get you not a sponsorship, but a team wise to get them to give you some setups?
I don't know. I mean, something for this would be helpful, especially on the oval side. I think I can compete a little bit on the road courses, but yeah, no, especially if it's something specific just for this league, that'd be greatly appreciated. But yeah, I mean, we can figure something out.
I tell you, I'm not allowed to say this, but I'm going to say it anyhow because I'll do whatever I want. You should go over to EPI. I hear they make great setups there, and I believe the EPI setup actually won this race with Trent Dinkel. So I would potentially go over and visit the boys with the Michael Conti sticker all over the place.
Gotcha.
What's your plans? What's your plans for the whole season? You going to win a couple?
That's the goal. Yeah. Wait, is it?
Anybody want to thank?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, this league is this great. New to this thing, so yeah, it was fun wheeling that car around for 60 some odd laps and getting a third place finish. I wasn't third place speed, I don't think. I would have said probably 6th I would have been happy with, but I think I gained like a spot or 2 on pit stop, so yeah, that turned out good. But yeah, no, looking forward to the season. A lot of road courses, so you know, should be interesting, but hopefully can get a win or 2. We'll see how competitive I am, but yeah, just enjoying racing right now, so hopefully this is fun, you know, from here on out.
We hope it's fun too. The broadcasts are always pretty fun and laid back. Landon, congratulations on P3, and we look forward to seeing you in Nashville next week.
Yeah, for sure, I'll be there. All right, yeah, it's good stuff. All right,
love you, Landon.
I love you too, Terry. Yeah, this is fun. I feel like I'm just joining. No, I'm just joining these leagues because Terry broadcasts them. That's the only reason I'm running. So yeah,
that's what I like to. That's what I like to hear. Yeah, get wrecked, Dylan. Get wrecked, Dylan. They joined because your man's calling these badass races.
No. There's nothing against Dylan. I mean, there really isn't.
No. Just call Dylan out. You're joining because Terry's up here. I got it. Terry's the favorite.
Oh my gosh. No, I look forward for a full season with you guys. It should be really fun.
We appreciate you. We can't wait for a full season with you either. It's Landon Mills, driver of the number 25 machine, coming on P3 of the night, Dylan.
Yeah, let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, baby.
I didn't need to hear that, Terry, at all. Abner Acosta in second place was the closest car to potentially giving Trent Dinkle a little bit of an issue, but it seemed like every time you set a fast lap, Trent Dinkle just came back and set one quicker. Do you feel like your spirits, though, are high coming out of this opening race of the season?
Yeah, I knew coming in Trent was going to be really strong. Just looking at his races, and I did one race with him prior, and he was super fast. So I did get a bit better. I think to compete with Trent there, I think I would have needed maybe 0.3 a lap faster, or 2 to 3 tenths a lap faster. But no, happy with a second. You know, Trent's my teammate. He put in a lot of work. He's improved a lot. He's super fast. He's definitely, I would say now, confirmed he's the best road driver here for the Cup car. So, you know, happy with a second for sure.
What would you say the work that you guys put in being teammates? Do you guys work on, setups? Do you work on the racetrack itself together, especially when it's a road course?
We used to kind of be on the track together more. Now it's more like we post our telemetry and just lap times and, just talk about lines and things like that. But we mostly practice separate and just share telemetry and data. Trent does a lot of that. He does a bunch of laps, so he definitely helps out a lot.
So obviously there's 9 races left in this season. We just had our opening race of the year. Do you look at any of those races and say, this one I need to be competing for the win?
I would say if we're looking at a championship, we would need to. I think we have 4 road courses, so we definitely need to be trying those because that's a lot of points if he's winning and ahead. So if we're looking at a championship standpoint, obviously it's always you don't want to use your drought week. That's my thought coming into a championship, because if you get bad races, you're pretty much done. So you just gotta stay consistent. I think that's the most important part.
All right, Abner. Well, appreciate it, and best of luck going to Nashville next week.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Terry, I almost regret doing this, but I'm going to let you interview the winner, and that is Trent Dinkle.
What's up, Trent?
What up, Terry?
You won everything but the fastest lap.
I know.
Oh, there's a cat!
Yeah, she's stretching. Yeah.
This is a massive day for cats. It's like the third
What?
cat sighting we've had on RaceSpot, and it's always a great day for cats everywhere.
Yeah, no, it was. I just kept. I mean, the lap cars were super good. I will say that. Like, I mean, there were some lap cars that were really, really, really slow, but I mean, everybody did a really good job of staying out of the way. Not staying out of the way, but making smart moves. Nobody was doing anything dumb, me included. And just unfortunately, every time I was on a good lap there towards the end, I caught somebody just through the S's, and it just would murder the lap. So, I mean, I'll let Abner have the fast lap. I don't care too much, but yeah, that was a fun race. I mean, I'm glad that 15 hours of practice paid off, considering I've been running since last Monday for NIS and all that stuff. So, it was a fun race.
Yeah, man. What's your bench press up to now? I know you like to go to the gym. What are you benching now?
I mean, I can do like the 100-pound dumbbells for 10.
That's it?
One on each arm. That's it. Let's see you do it.
I feel no, I ain't
Love
doing
to
it.
see that.
I'm old and I work too much. I got hip problems. I walk around with a limp. I'm wearing Skechers shape ups now instead of boots.
Oh,
That's how old I've done got. Well, you gonna teach me how to race these road courses?
Yeah, I will. I mean, it's just I think one of the big things with the road courses, you just have to be confident that when you throw the car in there, it's going to stick. Because, Sonoma, the first, handful of laps, it's pretty slick, but as long as you just keep hitting your marks that you hit every time, the car's not going anywhere crazy. So if you just have that confidence, and then obviously understand that for the time being, the car's just going to get faster every lap. I mean, it seems that I always struggle from like lap 5 to 15, but after lap 15, it's just the car's on rails. So, it was a lot of fun for the start of the season.
Well, you're going to go back and watch the broadcast, I'm sure, and you're going to hear me say that I did not pick you as the champion this year. I know you don't like to be the favorite of anything, right? I know it's a big thing. You don't want to get thrown on the spot and say, oh, he's the favorite. He's going to win it, lock up the championship. It's Trent's, right? So
Yeah.
I picked Abner just to give you a little extra ammunition, extra fuel to go out there and whoop up on him. It's going to be a good time to see you and Abner fight each other this year.
Yeah, I mean, it will be fun. I think, the road courses will help, me and Abner duke it out a little bit more. I mean, I know there's some fast dudes that came in the league this year, including, Matt's still here, and that dude's tough to beat any week. But, I think just try and not get caution points and not getting wrecks, and do get on the road courses, and hope Abner running like 4 other leagues pays off that he can't practice for Sunday.
Well, it's good to see you win the championship last season. You come back this season, you start off with a P1 in a 15-second massacre is what you did. We'll see you at Nashville next week, and don't stink up the show too bad. Kind of keep it close for me.
I'll try. I'm sure Nashville's going to be a good race, but I like that track. The last time we were there, me and Abner kind of, that was when I started winning races, was Nashville last year. So,
oh, don't tell us that.
I mean, I'll probably jinx it, but I have at least a good attitude going into it. I like the bigger tracks with banking and, a lot of braking, and there's different things you can do at Nashville to, work around how this car drives, and I'm ready for it.
Well, congratulations on a dominating win this afternoon. That is Season 2's champion, Trent Dinkle, Dylan Coyle. It's all yours. Let's wrap it up and go home so I can go test out my pedals.
All right, let's let you do exactly that. Before we get to next week's location, Nashville Super Speedway, we're going to be racing at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's an hour and a half into the NASCAR Cup Series race.
Hey.
We might get both on at the same time. Legal rights, NBC, whatever.
What rights?
Yeah, what rights? Anyway, that is the next race of 10 total for the PRL Cup Series season. That was enjoyable in some ways, but also a runaway win from Trent Dinkle. What are your thoughts going into the next 9 races of the year?
Exactly that. Head tilted to the side. It's going to be a great battle. You heard Trent talk about the road course that's going to be in here. We got 3 more to go. Starting, the one after Nashville with the Chicago Street Course, very brand new site for us. We'll have to see how these cars work. We saw the Coke Series. They drove there in the All-Star race last season. Was an epic fight with I think it was Dylan Wilson, or Zach Wilson ended up winning that race in the number, I think it was the number 4. Weird memory. But you'll have an opportunity to see that go. And then we go to Indianapolis for that road course, then Watkins Glen. But the cookie cutters, the 1.5-mile super speedway of Atlanta getting tossed in there too in the middle of the season. I think a lot of drivers will use that as a throwaway just to have a little fun. What a great season. And who in the world put me and you on a broadcast together for 15 weeks and thought this was a good idea?
15 weeks?
Something like that. Is it
10
12
weeks?
weeks?
It's 10.
Is it 10 weeks? No,
It's
it's
10.
not.
Yeah, it is.
Did I forget a season?
Wait a second.
Oh, it's 10 weeks. Who put us on a schedule for 10 weeks? It is 10.
The schedule.
There's the Shut up. I ain't a numbers guy. So 10 weeks out of the season, who put me and you on a broadcast together for that long? That is a bad thing waiting to happen.
People who want to watch the world burn. I mean, hey, we did kind of have a fight in this broadcast itself.
I'm going to win.
I know. Aren't you proud of me for fighting back, though? You got to be at least proud of me for that. Terry, come on, man. Okay.
Right there,
okay.
baby. Right
I had to
there.
look at my other screen to see what you're actually doing.
Yeah,
Anyway,
baby. Yeah, I get these hands.
from Terry Radford and myself, Dylan Coyle, this has been a RaceSpotTV presentation of the PRL Cup Series season opener at Sonoma Raceway. Trent Dinkle has won. He's continued right where he left off from last season's championship. Will he be able to continue it next week at Nashville Superspeedway? Tune in to find out. Until then, good night and good racing.